This week's Parsha details in length the events of Kriyas Yamsuf, where Hashem splits the sea, allowing the Yidden to escape free with the Egyptians sinking underneath. As we know, Moshe and the Jews composed a song to Hashem thanking him for these miracles. In fact, we say it every day. The paragraph of Oz Yashir that we say in davening, the events at Kriyas Yamsuf of how the Jews came out free and how the Egyptians sunk to the bottom. But if you look at the Shira, if you look at the song that the Jews thank Hashem with, it's really all about the Egyptians falling apart. It speaks mainly about how great Hashem is and how the Egyptians sunk to the bottom, how all the nations had fear and trepidation of Hashem. It really does not stress a lot about the actual Jewish people getting saved. It just stresses how all the Goyim are now afraid because Hashem made the Egyptians sink in the water. It really seems like the priorities are messed up. And honestly, since when in Judaism do we start parading that the enemy fell apart? We know the Gemara tells us even the Malachim stopped singing because they were not going to sing while Hashem's creations were getting destroyed. So why exactly is the song that we're singing, the thanks that we're giving, mainly centered around the fact that the Mitzrayim sunk to the bottom of the ocean, our enemies were taken away, and now all the other nations are afraid of Hashem? Really, the stress should be on the fact that Hashem saved us, and now we're a people, and now we have a mission. But it seems like we got the priorities messed up. Explains the Rebbe, it's very simple, because it's not about parading the enemy's failure. And that's not what we're doing. If you think that's what it was, then you missed the point of Mitzrayim. You missed the point of why we were in exile in the first place. The whole purpose of Yetzias Mitzrayim, the whole purpose of our exile and redemption in Egypt was not so Hashem could flex his muscles and go, look what I could do. It was a message for the world. Don't believe that there's no higher power. We've already spoken about how Mitzrayim, Egypt, represented the idea that they believe in a God, but not that he has a connection to him. And therefore, all the makkos, all the plagues that were sent to the Egyptians were all messages. Don't think there's no higher power watching over you every second. And therefore, when it came to the real culmination of Yetzias Mitzrayim, when the Yidden were finally going to break free, Hashem was going to split the sea for them, they were going to leave Egypt once and for all. 210 years of slavery will now be behind them. Hashem was going to cap it off with a miracle that represented this very same point. After 10 makkos, we knew that Hashem's on our side. But Hashem wanted to send one more message to the Egyptians, considering that they hadn't got the point just yet. That they were all going to sink to the bottom. That even in a world full of nature, distractions, evil, things that distance you from Hashem and distance you from the proper beliefs, Hashem will shine through. Godliness, Kedusha, the right way will always win. The right way will always shine through. And therefore our thanks to Hashem after the splitting of the sea is about that very point. We know Hashem's going to save us, but we had to show it to the world. When the laws of nature, the world itself saw that there's a higher power who's in control. And don't mess with the Jews, because when the Jews are doing the right thing, they're not the nation you want to mess with. And explains the Rebbe, if we fully realize this and we fully take this in, that nature really has no rights to itself, and it's only Hashem who's behind the curtain, who's behind the puzzle, who's really the one making everything happen, then we really shouldn't have many challenges in our life, because every challenge that we'll receive, we know it's part of the bigger picture, we know it's part of the bigger puzzle, and we know it's a blessing, even if we can't see it. And therefore, the message we need to give to the world, and to give to ourselves, is that even in nature there's God. Everything we do, even the most mundane actions, need to be done with the thought and the mindset that I'm doing this for a holy purpose. I'm doing this to make this world a better place. And most of all, I'm doing this to bring Mashiach. May he come speedily in our days. Wishing you a wonderful Shabbos.